To see the contortion of a face when someone gets murdered, and it's hard to watch. But when you start going into this, which is children, there is something that I can't even fathom. I had no choice but to go in, and I hear the screams in my heart. I hear the screams because of the agents that I got to work with.
Now, Oprah Winfrey, who's in Australia at the moment, is facing backlash after she revealed she has gone no contact with certain family members. She has been accused of inappropriately framing the debate when tackling this topic on her podcast. Kinsey, she said people are now redefining what healthy boundaries look like in family dynamics. Did she explain why she's gone no contact and who she has made this call with?
Well, I had to do some research here, and
the Hollywood industry is once again at the center of a storm that nobody seems able to control. A wave of viral clips, online discussions, and resurfaced interviews has pushed two very unlikely names into the same conversation: Jim Caviezel and Oprah Winfrey. What started as a small moment during a private film screening has now escalated into a global debate that is spreading across social media platforms at unstoppable speed. In the footage circulating online, audience reactions appear unusual, with people reacting strongly to references connected to Epstein Island discussions. While the exact context of these reactions remains unclear, the clips have been widely shared and reinterpreted across different platforms, each adding its own layer of speculation. No official version of the full recording has been released for verification, which has only intensified curiosity. Jim Caviezel, known for his outspoken views following the release of Sound of Freedom, has once again become a central figure in online discussions. His past comments about Hollywood systems and hidden influence networks are being resurfaced and analyzed in new contexts. At the same time, Oprah Winfrey's name has been repeatedly mentioned in unrelated online threads, though without verified evidence connecting her to any of the claims being circulated. The combination of silence from major figures, viral speculation, and fragmented media clips has created an environment where interpretation is moving faster than fact-checking.
Millions of people, including Oprah, fell for this hoax. Buckle up because this is a wild story. In the early 90s, a 14-year-old boy named Anthony Godby Johnson wrote this harrowing memoir. In it, he described how he'd contracted AIDS and syphilis after being forced into prostitution by his parents. The book spread like wildfire.
In this digital landscape, viewers are left trying to separate confirmed information from online narrative buildup. What is actually happening behind the scenes, and what is simply internet amplification, remains unclear. But one thing is certain: this story is growing far beyond anyone's control.
Oprah shuts down sex trafficking arrest rumors. The media mogul takes to Twitter to respond to awful rumors stating she had been arrested. After finding out her name was trending on social media, she decided to address the rumors. Oprah tweets, "Just got a phone call that my name is trending and being trolled for some awful fake thing. It's not true. Haven't been raided or arrested. Just sanitizing and self-distancing with the rest of the world."
Jim Caviezel's name is once again at the center of intense online discussion following renewed attention on his previous work and public statements. After starring in Sound of Freedom, a film that sparked global debate over its subject matter and distribution model, Caviezel became a recognizable figure in conversations about independent filmmaking and controversial storytelling in Hollywood. In recent weeks, online communities have begun revisiting his interviews, speeches, and public appearances, often compiling fragmented clips into new interpretations. These reinterpretations are being widely circulated, though many lack full context or official confirmation. As a result, Caviezel's public image is being reshaped in real time through digital amplification. Supporters argue that he represents a voice willing to challenge established industry narratives, while critics caution against drawing conclusions from selectively edited material. The tension between these perspectives has fueled ongoing debate across social media platforms, podcasts, and commentary channels. At the same time, discussions surrounding rumored film projects connected to Caviezel have added further speculation. While some online posts claim involvement in new productions addressing sensitive global topics, there has been no verified confirmation from studios or official representatives regarding these claims. The original Sound of Freedom release demonstrated how independent films can gain massive attention outside traditional Hollywood systems, particularly when amplified by online audiences. This has led many observers to compare current discussions to that earlier cultural moment, even though the contexts are not identical. As this narrative continues to evolve, the challenge remains distinguishing verified information from rapidly spreading commentary, especially in an environment where clips, opinions, and speculation often merge into a single continuous stream of content.
Her 2020 book, What Happened to You, Oprah revealed details from her childhood, and she says that her grandmother would whoop her over the smallest things. And she says that those experiences turned her into a people pleaser who battled with boundaries well into adulthood. I also know that she's, said that there's been some sexual assault in her history. I'm assuming that these are the reasons why she's gone no contact, but she doesn't explain it specifically in her.
Oprah Winfrey's name has become a recurring point of discussion within the broader online conversation surrounding this story. However, it is important to note that most of these references originate from social media commentary, reposted clips, and speculative threads rather than verified reporting or official documentation. Across platforms, users have been analyzing her past public appearances, interviews, and media influence, attempting to draw connections between unrelated events. These interpretations vary widely and are often based on associative reasoning rather than confirmed evidence. As of now, there are no official statements or verified investigations linking her to the claims being circulated online. What has drawn additional attention is Oprah Winfrey's silence on the matter. In today's digital environment, silence from public figures is often interpreted in multiple ways by different audiences. Some view it as a strategic decision to avoid amplifying misinformation, while others interpret it as avoidance of controversy. Neither interpretation is supported by confirmed statements from her team. The silence narrative has become a major talking point across social media, where absence of response is frequently treated as part of the story itself. This phenomenon is not unique to this situation, but reflects a broader trend in digital media where public perception is shaped as much by reaction as by content. As speculation continues to circulate, fact-checking organizations emphasize that interpretation without evidence can quickly distort public understanding. In cases involving high-profile individuals, this effect is often amplified by the speed and scale of online sharing.
Stay safe, everybody. A conspiracy theory surfaced online claiming that Oprah had been arrested in connection with an alleged sex trafficking ring and that her house had been raided. Many fans and Oprah's famous friends are coming to her defense. A Wrinkle in Time director and filmmaker Ava DuVernay slams the disgusting rumor. She writes,
"The speed at which this story has spread highlights how modern digital platforms shape public narratives. Short clips, edited segments, and reposted commentary have all contributed to a rapid escalation in visibility, often without full context or verified sourcing. Once a topic reaches viral status, it enters a self-sustaining cycle where engagement drives further exposure. This means that even unverified or speculative content can continue circulating at high volumes simply because it generates reactions, shares, and commentary. In this environment, distinctions between confirmed reporting and online interpretation become increasingly difficult for audiences to navigate. A single clip can be repurposed dozens of times, each version slightly altered or recontextualized, creating multiple parallel narratives around the same original moment. The Epstein-related discourse that appears within this broader conversation is part of a historically documented and legally investigated subject. However, online discussions often merge factual history with unrelated claims, leading to confusion between verified information and speculative extensions. As engagement increases, content platforms tend to prioritize visibility based on interaction metrics rather than accuracy. This means emotionally charged or controversial narratives often spread faster than carefully verified reporting. Media analysts continue to warn that this system creates an environment where perception can evolve independently from fact, especially when audiences encounter information through fragmented clips rather than full context.
And Anthony was invited to tell his horrific story in a TV special hosted by Oprah.
I was about 7 or 8 years old. I was bought for an hour at a time, sometimes 2, sometimes for a night. And what I did depended upon what that person wanted, and they paid for it.
Anthony lent his voice to the TV project but refused to.
Attention has now shifted toward rumored creative projects and their role in amplifying public interest. Online discussions have suggested possible film developments involving figures like Caviezel, though no official production announcements have confirmed these claims. Caviezel's association with Sound of Freedom is frequently referenced in these discussions due to its significant cultural impact and unconventional distribution success. The film demonstrated how independent releases can gain momentum through audience-driven promotion rather than traditional studio marketing. At the same time, broader conversations about Hollywood storytelling, influence, and media resistance have resurfaced. These discussions are often shaped by past interviews, commentary clips, and reinterpretations shared across digital platforms. However, it is important to emphasize that many of the current claims circulating online remain unverified and should not be treated as factual without official confirmation. In fast-moving digital environments, rumors can often appear alongside real developments, making it difficult for audiences to distinguish between the two. Industry observers note that Hollywood has experienced similar cycles in the past, where speculation grows rapidly before being clarified or dismissed by official sources. This pattern reflects the increasing influence of social media in shaping entertainment discourse long before traditional journalism can respond.
Conversation.
But she's in her 70s now, so I would imagine her grandmother is long gone. It would be interesting to know if this is something less serious, because as we know in America, there's an epidemic of people cutting contact with their family over political differences, Kinsey, and that is just so...
Meghan Markle and Meghan...
As this story continues to evolve, one thing is becoming increasingly clear. The modern media landscape is no longer defined by a single source of truth, but by a constantly shifting mix of clips, commentary, and interpretation. Jim Caviezel remains a focal point in discussions about independent filmmaking and controversial storytelling, while Oprah Winfrey's name continues to circulate within broader online narratives driven largely by speculation and associative discussion rather than verified evidence. The challenge for audiences today is not just consuming information, but understanding how quickly that information can be reshaped once it enters the digital ecosystem. Viral momentum often outpaces verification, leaving viewers to navigate a complex and constantly changing narrative environment. At the center of it all is a larger question about how stories are formed, shared, and amplified in the age of social media. What begins as a single clip can quickly evolve into a global conversation, shaped by millions of interpretations. Now we want to hear from you. What do you think about the way this story is unfolding online? Is it being misunderstood, exaggerated, or is there more beneath the surface that people are trying to uncover? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this investigation insightful, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next deep dive into Hollywood's most controversial stories as they continue to develop in real time.